Hello, my name is Billy Bonds, and today we're going to be showing you how to not only fit new door handles onto your doors, but also how to do some immediate tightening up and adjustments to your door handles, because your door handles have been suffering from lots of sites and lots of restaurants where the handles be coming loose. So let's get straight on with this one. You'll recognise these parts that I'm showing you here. These are the blocks and the mounting sections that the handles go on, and now I'm going to show you. I've got an old door here. I'm going to show you exactly how they go together. So this is the two parts of the door handles that come together, and you can see from the picture that I'm showing you on the screen now how they actually lay out, how they interlock. But this is the securing bolt that goes through one side of the door, and it locates into this hole in the other side of the block, which is on the opposite side of the door. Now these handles come with standard mounting blocks like this, and there's a locating hole here which has a locating pin. Now none of the fabricators are fitting those, and it's mainly to make it easier for both of them to fit, but also for you to do immediate repairs on. It's not very easy always to get these to line up very well, but the basic configuration of the handles as they are, it just doesn't need that. So this pin, once you've got your hole drilled right the way through the door, and obviously you guys on site wouldn't have to do that, your holes would already be there if you're just going to do a replacement on your handles. So your pin, your locating bolt goes through the whole frame right the way through, and it locates into the bottom half of that block, and we can just nip that up by hand, and that does need to be tightened up. Now that is a 19mm size nut on there. Let's just move that block out of the way. So we can use a standard 19mm spanner, and we can just nip that up. Now you don't want to have that too tight, because what will happen is the aluminium of this door will bend if you tighten it up too tight. You're screwing two pieces of steel together that are very tough into soft aluminium, so it will squash this door together. So it wants to be tight, but not too tight. That's just fine like that. Okay, then the next bit that you see is the opposite side of the mounting block. I've got my door handle samples rolling around here. Okay, and this is this will literally locate over the top here, and these two grub screws here, let me pop one out here, are the bits that cause you folks all the problems. Oh no, there we go, look, I've just dropped one. That's a good start, isn't it? And they're the bits that cause you all the problems, for the simple reason that these grub screws are stainless steel, and they're fitting into another stainless steel piece of metal, but I don't know if you can see that, hopefully you've got a good view there. They're going to go right the way through there, come out the other side, and they're going to locate into this section here, and that will stop the handle, this block, from lifting off. Now what happens is, over time, when your handles get bashed and knocked, these grub screws will rattle loose and come out and fall out, and that's exactly what happens at every McDonald's. And what you'll need to do is, really, our advice to you folks is, A, to do a weekly check and make sure that these are tight with a little Allen key. You can see the Allen key will just fit just straight inside that hole there. But B, there's another little trick we can show you in a minute, which will help to stop them coming loose in the first place. But with the best will in the world, a great deal of vibration and knocking and bashing of your doors, these things are going to come loose. So these literally pop straight on there like that, and now you can see the familiar configuration that you would have be totally familiar with. So here we are. I'm going to show you another little trick that will stop these grub screws from coming loose out of this part of your handles. This is called Loctite. It's actually what we call thread lock or thread locker. Now this is like a glue that we apply to the bolt. I'm going to just do that within a shot of the camera. This one's a little pinky colour, sometimes it's a blue in colour, but you can hopefully just see that there. I'll just bring that just closer for you to see. Hopefully you can see that just applied. You just need a tiny little blob on the end of the thread, and when that goes into the socket that it fits into, I'm just going to put that on the end of the Allen key there. When that goes into the socket there, what happens is, once the two threads have stopped rotating and it calms down, this material, this little bit of liquid, solidifies just enough to help stop the thread from coming loose. That's actually a really useful addition to put into these things. And again, if you just apply that to both sides, you can actually, because this is partially out, you can actually just put a blob just on the thread right there. And I'm just doing this in this way so that you can see it, so it's easy for me to demonstrate this to you. But you wind that in, if you get these to a point where they're fairly tight, obviously I'm doing this with a door on its side, unfortunately you won't have that facility. Okay, so we can just rotate that, and then you can use your Allen key just to give you a last tight, and you want to get these as tight as you can get them, but don't force it so that it feels like the Allen key is going to bend or strain. Just good and solid, and because that thread lock material is in that hole, that will help to stop that from coming loose. Now the handles come as a long length, and you'll have to cut these down to suit the size of your door. I've got a short piece here. That handle literally fits straight in there, and that handle will sit right to the very bottom of your bracket, and then here is a fixing hole, and you have one each side. And at the moment what you need to do is you need to drill a hole right the way through that hole there so that it locates into there, and then you can either apply a screw or a rivet into the bottom of that hole, and that will secure this handle into this bracket. So you do that each side, top and the bottom of the door, and that will stop this handle from rotating and coming loose, and that's how you secure your brackets in there.